research has been done on e-cigarettes, the fumes that come out of that?
Oh,
Is there
e-cigarettes.
a lot more yet to come?
That is a hot button topic because there is no long-term research, unfortunately. There's some short-term research. I can tell you right now I work with both ACS CAN, which is the Cancer Action Network, it's the advocacy group, and then the American Cancer Society as well. I'm a volunteer for both organizations. And right now, e-cigarettes are a very hot button topic, but we're kind of walking on glass on that one because we don't have the long-standing research to necessarily back up how we feel. Do we think they're safe? No, because here's the problem. Tobacco companies are targeting teenagers and kids. They're making them look colorful, they're flavoring them, and unfortunately right now they're not regulated like cigarettes. They have no regulation whatsoever. So while the tobacco companies were hit hard years ago with marketing towards kids, they can do whatever they want with e-cigarettes, and that's what we're trying to fight is the whole marketing issue with them right now.
So it should be really regulated by FDA, right? So
It should
how
be.
would you classify, how would you get that classified, that product? I mean, it's a consumable, kind of.
Yes, the problem is there needs to be medical reasons to back it up why it would need to be regulated like tobacco products. Because a lot of people are saying it's just vapor, there aren't all those chemicals and all that stuff that's in regular cigarettes. But we know that's not true. Unfortunately, we're in the short-term field right now. We don't have long-term research. We hope to never be in a situation where we have the long-term research to back up the claims, but there's a lot of work being done by ACS CAN at the state and federal level to really, really push home e-cigarette regulations. It's not going to be easy, but there's been a lot of work done. And the biggest thing right now is just working on the marketing, getting them out of the hands of kids. Because while kids may start with e-cigarettes, I've had many friends that have started with e-cigarettes or started with hookah pens is what they're called. It's like an e-cigarette, but it's got hookah in it instead. And they've progressed to actually smoking hookah, using chewing tobacco, cigarettes, among other things. So from what I've seen, it's a gateway. to other things. It's just the start.
Thank you.
Liam, go ahead.
I just wondered if you want to just comment, you know, a little bit about volunteer activities, like we're a group, a volunteer group, and we struggle with trying to attract new members and keep and retain the members we have. Yeah, you want to comment about anything, you know, just the aspect of volunteerism?
So being a former president of a college against cancer chapter, college-age students are is the largest driving force in terms of volunteers. But getting them to volunteer, getting them to buy into your mission, and retaining those members is very hard. I'll tell you, my first year as president, I only had 8 members. On my board. My second year, we had 30 members. This year, no longer president, but it continues the foundation that I set. They're currently standing at 50 active members. That is the largest Colleges Against Cancer chapter in Carroll's history, period. And we have actually one of the largest small Division III private chapters in the country. We are actually we are the only Division III private college to be named a Leader of Hope for all of our volunteerism, all of our work in education, advocacy, and everything else the previous year. So one of the things I'll say about that is you really just have to, it's all about your one-on-one dynamic when you're recruiting people to your organization. You tell them about your passion, the mission, why it's important, and why they should get involved, but you make it personal. So a lot of it is based on one-on-one interaction. We do an org fair at the beginning of the year with students, and it was myself, executive board members, and some of our more passionate volunteers would pull freshmen aside or sophomores and talk with them one-on-one. What is the ACS mission? What do we do at Relay for Life? This is all the fun we have together. We develop a family, a core group of support for everything. We do all these awesome activities. Yes, it also looks good on your resume, college kids, but at the same time, you develop a passion and a drive for an organization that's nationally recognized as one of the best volunteer organizations in the world. And Relay for Life, who here didn't know about Relay for Life before I came here tonight? Okay, so these two knuckleheads, but they're lying because they've heard me talk about Relay for Life. Cardiac rehab, big deal. But the rest of you guys know Relay for Life is a huge organization. So that's part of it. It's about your one-on-one dynamic. And you know what? Sometimes it really just takes making it personal, being like, look, this is how it affected me. This is why I'm passionate about it. Tell me your story. And maybe we can figure out a way for you to get involved or to take your story and convince someone else to get involved. It's a chain effect. I've seen it happen. So my 8 people turned into 30, which went out and turned into 50. I can only imagine what it's going to look like in the coming years of the organization as they continue to grow.
So, but where did you do, you you have like tables set up at the college? I mean, how?
Yep.
So,
Tabling, yeah, that's what we did. We did tabling. So we talked, like you said, we have an org fair at the beginning of the year where all the organizations on campus get together and freshmen, sophomores, juniors get to interact with us, find out more about our organization, sign up for informational meetings. So the key thing is just getting out where the population is that you want to get involved. So whether it be, you know, some of you guys have talked to other people in the morning that are coming in for the cardiac rehab class. That's a great start. You know, telling them about the organization. How to get involved. That's where we start. We help you guys throughout the day and try to bring patients in for you as well. But at the same time, it's going to come down to finding where your core population that you want is concentrated and maybe doing some tabling or maybe hosting an informational event. Overall, to get the community involved. Free food usually helps. People love food. Healthy food, guys. No donuts. All right.
Tell
Not
Cheryl.
when you're, tell Sharon.
That's on her, not on.
Hey, you mentioned cigarette smoking. Okay, I was a smoker. How long does it take your lungs to clear out? Or do they ever clear out?
They do, actually. Now, you're always going to have more of a risk than a non-smoker, but how long have you been a non-smoker then? How long have you
For
quit?
20 years now.
20 years. Your risk is probably only about 5% more than that of a non-smoker, just because of everything in the air we breathe. The great thing about when you quit, within an hour of quitting, your blood pressure, your heart rate returns back to normal. Your lungs start to repair itself and start growing new cells. It's amazing how soon after you quit, your body starts to take action and fight the damage that was done and repair itself. So that's why we always say, doesn't mean you're done. You're at that plateau. You're never going to get any better. You do get better. Is there a point where, you know, you're not going to be the same as a non-smoker? No. But are you going to get pretty close? Yes.
I've heard of 7 years it takes for your body to rejuvenate, to have everything go back to.
Yeah,
Quote,
different
unquote.
people can test different numbers, which is why I didn't give specifics, because there's different studies that show different things based on what that person smoked. How often they smoked, if their families were smokers or not. But 7 years is about the rough estimate for an average smoker.
That's what I've heard.
I've never heard of any connection between any type of cancers and heart disease.
I have not either, but like we talked about earlier, one of the risk factors you guys know for heart disease is obesity. Same thing for cancer. So they can go hand in hand. You guys all know one of your fellow Excel members is cancer survivor as well as heart disease. As well. So it does go in hand as well. It's all about living a healthy lifestyle. So exercising, reducing your risk for cardiovascular disease and cancer can be the same with exercise. So lowering obesity, eating healthy, so making sure you're eating healthy foods because a lot of those preservative instant foods out there have a lot of chemicals and stuff. Some of them are not proven to be carcinogens, but are definitely not going to help you on that path to making sure you're not at risk for developing cancer.
Do you have any thoughts about any of the cures that we always see every day? There's some study that says maybe this is the breakthrough. Do you have any thoughts on any of any of the different
There's
things
this one out here now, there was television, I believe. Water or oxygen, something to do with one of the two. You either breathe more or you drink more water. It's supposed to help, especially women with chest cancer, lung cancer, wherever you want to
In most of my stats classes and medical classes, I've taken, they always say correlation does not mean causation. So just because you may see a lesser incidence of cancer with people who do this behavior doesn't mean it necessarily reduces your overall risk. You guys know about what it takes to eat a healthy healthy lifestyle, and that's probably your best way at reducing your cancer risk. But like I said earlier, family history is key because a lot of cancers do have hereditary or genetic components. So knowing your family history. I have so many friends that have, you know, 6 uncles, 4 aunts, a grandfather, and 2 cousins that all have survived some sort of cancer. Whereas my family, on both sides, it's just been my godfather, my grandfather, and then my mom's cousin. So, and that's it. So obviously there's no hereditary. Cancer issues in our family. But take everything you see in the news with a grain of salt. If you see something that interests you, don't be afraid to consult your doctor.
I'm getting all kinds of real rapid progression in cures, or at least slowing everything down for both heart disease and diabetes. Even like to the point where most heart surgeries are only going to be required in 5 years or so. What's the American Cancer's feelings on, like, one of this, I think, is stem cells and things. But what about, what does the American Cancer Society think about how soon before you break huge progress for most?
While there's no official numbers or promises in the market, a lot of it just comes down to research. Unfortunately, right now, all the money we raise through Relay for Life helps start research. It gives them that first grant to see if the study is even worth pursuing, expanding the population, getting more doctors involved. The rest of that is funded by the federal government. So right now, one of the biggest problems is getting federal government funding. It's actually been slowly reduced over the years, so we're really pushing for an increase in funding for cancer programs and cancer research. Unfortunately, my home state of Illinois, our new governor-elect, Bruce Rauner, has slashed cancer research funding in his budget, so you can imagine. I'm not happy about it. All of my friends back home who are cancer advocates are not happy about it either. So we're letting it be known loud and clear. Granted, the budget is not approved yet, and it probably will not, that part of the budget will not pass through the House if the Speaker of the House has anything to say about it. But the huge issue right now is cancer funding. That 1 degree I talked to you about earlier, that's a campaign that ACS CAN is pushing right now to increase federal government cancer funding. They are the #1 funder of cancer research in the nation. Not the American Cancer Society, we're #2. They are #1. They're the reason the studies get to the point where cures are found, new treatments, new screenings, new diagnosis. They're the ones who are able to fund the study all the way to the end. We get them started, they finish it out.
You said that breast cancer is a classified as a success. Are there any other cancers that we've had any successes in the last 20 years?
So right now, March is colorectal cancer awareness month. So right now, one of the biggest things we're pushing is telling relatives over the age of 50 to get regular colon cancer screenings, because for colon cancer, if you get your screenings, it's 100% preventable, 100% survivable. The people that die are the ones that do not get regular screenings usually, or it's caught too late. Sometimes people who do get regular screenings, it's just so rapidly progressed. There's nothing the doctors can really do about it in the end. But it's one of those that is highly preventable, like breast cancer, if you get your regular screenings. Women know you get your mammogram every year on the dot, no question about it. But people shy away from getting colonoscopies in order to get screened for colon cancer. I don't know why. I know it's uncomfortable. Been there, done that. I've been there, guys. But it is vital in making sure that you guys do not develop colon cancer.
Well, you being so young, why did you get? I mean, I've gone, but I mean, why?
Not for any cancer reasons. I actually have a couple autoimmune diseases, and one of them being celiac. So I regularly get endoscopies and colonoscopies to
Stuff
check
like
for intestinal damage to make sure I don't get any worse, because I become risk of, with my celiac disease, I'm at risk for lymphoma, among ulcers, and bone cancer and osteoporosis.
Just for the normal person? Not that you're not normal, but I mean, if you going at risk yet.
He's not.
Ask them, I'm not. I'm a little crazy, as you guys can't tell.
Not all our people.
Otherwise, it would be 50 years would be the time.
Yep.
you should-
So after you turn 50, mark it on your calendar. Just schedule the appointment same day. Every year, year after year after year.
She's not normal because she plays with broomsticks in the morning.
Yeah.
Wait, colonoscopies aren't every year, they're every
5
6
years, isn't it?
2 or 5.
Yeah.
They're,
I thought it was every year.
it's
No.
like every 8.
That's it.
Well, I've had the polyps, and then I had a return 2 years later.
Okay.
When I was clear.
So it might be every
returned
couple of
5
years. I might be mixing it up with breast cancer in my head.
It's
A lot of stuff going on up here, guys. Can't keep them all straight. Sometimes. Just
Doing
ask the
great.
guys.
My dad's oldest brother died of colon cancer. He was only 52. And I don't think he ever smoked or drank, but he lived in California. Maybe that's the reason. But I wish I had a picture of him. He looks identical to Gregory Peck.
One of my really close friends who I've met through the American Cancer Society, she's probably one of the most advanced volunteers I've ever met in my life. She does work with the National level boards for American Cancer Society and ACS-CAN. Her mother passed away from colon cancer when she was 19. So she's emotional about it, but she's loves to share her story about the importance of screenings and how they can help prevent things. I think her mother passed away at the age of 51, and her mother was diagnosed, I think, at 50. So, yeah, it's very real, guys. It's cancer, for the most part, is very preventable. If you know your family history, you take care of yourself, and you get the regular recommended screenings. Like I said, knowledge is power, and a lot of people don't know this or don't have the means to know this, and that's part of my mission, is educating people so they know and they can take care of themselves and their family. I'm telling you guys all this wonderful information tonight. I'm sure you'll go and share it with loved ones or other individuals, and it's a spider web effect. It just goes on from there.